Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you for taking a few moments here to join me. I promise to keep it under 10 minutes, but I threw on a button-up shirt for you because you are worth it. A few things I want to say, kind of bring you up to speed with what's happening at Great Lakes Church. As you know, about 5 weeks ago, we were thrown into doing online services. It was not something we were anticipating. We were planning for it in the fall, but we were not anticipating doing it this early. And so I just got to say to our tech teams, to our videographers, to all the people working behind the scenes, staff and volunteers to make weekly services happen, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, our first week on Facebook Live was really glitchy, and the second week was really glitchy. But our teams added YouTube services. I know right now they're working on a flawless, that's a prediction, online type of community where you won't actually have to go to Facebook or YouTube. It'll be our own online channel. And so I just want to say thank you to all of those involved for making that happen. In week 2, our music team decided to get together, and we had some volunteer videographers come on out, and they decided that in this season they were going to offer music for our church. And so we are so grateful for that. And our Kenosha campus musicians have been making that happen, but now our Racine campus musicians in the coming weeks are going to be joining in on that. Again, just so grateful. Grateful to our music, or to our children's ministry teams. You know, on April 11th, the day before Easter, with just a week or so of planning and putting things together, they pulled off an incredibly successful event called Egg Hunt in a Bag. And so the whole premise was that elementary kids and preschool kids would come by with their parents, drive-through experience, and they'd be handed bags with Easter eggs and candy and coloring pages and a summary of the Easter story. And I think the initial numbers that we were anticipating were like 50, 100, maybe 150. But we had somewhere in the range of 600, 700 people show up for this experience. And actually the day after Easter, I went to drop off a package and to mail it. And the person who took the package from me said, "Hey, are you the pastor of Great Lakes Church?" And I said, "Depends on why you are asking." And they said, "Well, I saw on Facebook, I saw on social media that you guys were doing this big event for kids in our community. I just want to say thank you. I think that's amazing that your church would do that. So I'm passing it on to you." And then our students have stepped up in this season. In just a couple of weeks' time, they've launched a YouTube channel. And in order to do some of the things they really want to do with that channel, they need a minimum of 100 subscribers. That's a YouTube thing. That's just not like clickbait on my side. And so if you would help us out, maybe you've got a student and they're already subscribed, but if you would help us out and subscribe to their channel, just look for GLC Students on YouTube. You'll see a logo that looks similar to ours. They have well over 100 students between Kenosha and Racine campuses. But of course, not everybody is subscribed, and this is just a new venture for them. But all in all, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for helping us continue with the mission, because you know that the world may be at a standstill, but the church never stands still. And then on Easter of this year, we had the largest attendance by far in the history of our church. We had way more people watch online, engage online than have ever showed up to a physical building on Easter. And that's because you shared our services. That's because you invited people to attend with you. And that's because you choose to stay engaged. And so with all of what's happening right now, I just have to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. In just 4 or 5 weeks, this vision we had to pull off something by the end of the year has just started to unpack. We've got people working on a new website. We've got people working on an app. We are quickly becoming the church we wanted to be by the end of the year, and it's happening so fast. And again, just so many people to thank. Now, as we move forward into the coming weeks and into the coming months, just a few things I need you to be aware of. Number one, you understand this. Churches all over the country, just like businesses, are being impacted financially. And we have people within our own church who have been impacted. They've lost their jobs. They've been furloughed. Some of them have their jobs, but their pay has been reduced significantly. And so in this season, more than ever, I'm going to ask for those of us who have jobs, who are blessed with employment, to step up and carry the weight of ministry as it relates to finances. All right. Now, so many cool things have happened. Obviously, the government's been helping people. The government even helped our church and being able to make payroll and those type of things. They considered us a small business in the generosity that was shown in our country. But here's the deal. In this season, if you've never given on a regular basis, but this is your church, I'm going to ask, would you consider stepping up? Just go to greatlakeschurch.com/give. You can give online. It would be incredible if you would automate your giving. You know, my wife and I, we give digitally. But if you automate your giving, it just helps us know how to plan in the future here. And then for those of us who do give regularly, would you consider in this season increasing your giving by maybe 1% or 2 or 3%? That may not seem significant to you, but I promise you, as more and more people do that, it's going to help ease the financial burden that would often be carried by a whole lot of people. But in this season, there are some who are just unable to do that. And I had people reach out to me, and they didn't have to do this. And I don't think they were looking for Pastor Brownie points, but they said, hey, Dave, we're going to just give our stimulus check to the ministries of Great Lakes Church, because we know that great things are going to be happening and that you guys are already caring for people in the community and caring for people in our church family. I'm not asking you to do that, but I am asking you to prayerfully consider taking a percentage of that check and saying, hey, Lord, what can be used to help further your kingdom in this season? Now, the stewardship team, the board of directors, some of the staff have been working endlessly in this season. We've been meeting weekly and giving updates. We've split our teams, our stewardship and board of directors and directional leadership team, which is some of the staff. We've split them into really 2 teams, an offense team and a defense team. The defense team is saying, hey, if this happens, here's how we're going to respond. If that happens, here is our next step. And I think that's important. But our offense team has a much more fun job. They're the team that are just saying, hey, how are we going to keep moving the ball down the field? And together, both of these teams did decide this. Let's cut back our budget as much as possible. Let's slice it and dice it. Let's do what we can to get our budget to a minimum in this season. So that's been done. And then the decision's been made. Now let's take every bit of surplus, every dollar given above and beyond what it takes to run the church, and just kind of like we do in our Christmas offering, and let's use those resources to bless families in our church, to bless organizations in our community, nonprofits, to bless small churches in our community who have been directly affected by COVID-19. And so I hope you know in this season, your giving makes a difference. Your giving matters. Again, you can go to greatlakeschurch.com/give and you can get caught up to speed with where our resources go, but really you can use that as a way of giving and setting up automated giving if you choose. Now, some other things that we're doing. We are participating in a food drive. All right? This is a big deal because in a season where people are losing their jobs, groceries are one of the biggest expenses. And so we have a guy at our Kenosha campus, David Underwood, who's taken it upon himself to organize some things and put some things together. And so our Racine and Kenosha campuses are going to partner with him. You can go to greatlakeschurch.com/food drive to learn about that. You can hear David talk about that. There's a video on there. And the bottom line is you can leave groceries out on your front porch and somebody will come and swing by and pick them up. And or you can be a driver and help pick up some things because there's a need for that as well. Also, we're going to be doing a blood drive in the coming weeks at both Kenosha and Racine campuses. The American Red Cross has said 19,000 cancellations have happened in this season. And so what a practical way for us to step up. Right, we're going to do for some what we wish we could do for everyone. And so in the coming weeks, you'll learn more through weekly update emails, but also through greatlakeschurch.com/COVID-19. That's really where you can find a summary of everything I'm even talking about in the video. greatlakeschurch.com/COVID-19. Now, on that same part of the website, there is a tab that says survey. And what that survey does is it lets us know how you're doing, for the good, bad, or indifferent. All right, and so I'm going to ask everybody in our church to take that. We just want to keep our thumb, right? We want to take the pulse of our church is basically what we want to do, and that will help us do it. And then finally, make sure in this season you're reaching out to friends, families, those you've been in groups with before, those you've been on volunteer teams with. Let's just encourage one another. If you've got an elderly person that you know about in your neighborhood or even at the church, reach out to them. Make sure they know they're loved. Guys, I can't wait to see you very, very soon. Bye.